went to one particular community that was just ravished, completely ravished by poverty, no food, no water, kids didn't have shoes, the whole thing. But there's an interesting thing about a guy like me being in a place like Nicaragua. And here's the interesting thing, this one mom, as we walked by her home that was made up of leftover pieces of garbage from a local landfill, she opens this corrugated metal door that was all rusted, had holes in it, and she swings it open like this, and out of nowhere, she goes, "Pedro! Pedro!" I was like, babe, I'm famous in Nicaragua. And she's like, babe, no, you're in Nicaragua, everybody's name's Pedro out here. And it was true, I met like 17 Pedros. I was like, I'm voting for you, I'm voting for you, I'm voting for you. Y'all know about that movie? I love you already, Oregon. Taking care of 6 children, all on her own. And she opens up her home and she welcomes us in. And I realized quickly that the dirt on the outside of her home was the same as the dirt on the inside of her home. And I realized, man, don't we live a very blessed life? We are so blessed by God to have the things we have. And this mom, she didn't have much, but the little that she had, she was willing to give. She said, Pedro, I want you and your wife to come out back with me. I've prepared a meal for you. You see, the little that she had, she was willing to give freely. She was teaching my wife and I about faith and generosity, and she didn't even know it. We get to the back of her home, and she had a small cook fire back there, and she said, I've prepared this meal for you, and I want you to eat with us. And I wanted to ask this mom, who, by the way, was a mom, single mom, taking care of 6 children all on her own, in extreme poverty, in a dump. I wanted to ask her a question that would help me understand poverty on its deepest level. Because I've seen Facebook ads, and I've heard other people go on mission trips, and all the whole thing, and I was like, I want to know for me. I want to look a person in the eyes and ask them an honest question. So I asked her this question, and I'd been thinking about it for days. I said, was there ever a time in your life where you were unsure of where your next meal might come from? Was there ever a time in your life where you were unsure of where your next meal might come from? And she kind of paused for a moment, and I saw her eyes begin filling with tears. And she said, Pedro, I have to tell you a story. I did not know it in the moment, but this story from this mom would literally change my life forever. So much so that it put me on this stage right here, right now. She said, Pedro, from the time I was 7 years old to the time I was 17 years old, my mom used to tell me every single day, go gather the wood and go start a fire. We're going to eat today. So every single day I did what my mom said. I'd gather wood, I'd start a fire. I'd gather wood, I'd start a fire, believing that hopefully we would eat. But finally at 17 years old, I had a brilliant idea. I said, Mom, here's what we need to do. Here's what we need to do. You need to go get us food. And when you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that we are going to eat, then I'll go gather wood. Then I'll go start a fire. That just makes way more sense. And her mom says, whoa, baby, you don't understand. The reason why we gather this wood and the reason why we start this fire is because we want God to know that we are counting on Him to provide. We're counting on Him to provide. For the first time in my life, I learned what faith actually looks like. If I can be honest with you tonight, I learned what faith actually does. When it doesn't make sense, start a fire.